Hi, I'm Katie Ziskind. I'm the owner of Wisdom Within Counseling and Coaching. I specialize with couples in helping them build a meaningful relationship, emotional intimacy, and sexual tension and sexual passion. You can learn more about working with me and bettering your marriage at wisdomwithinct.com. That's wisdomwithinct.com. In this video today, we are going to be talking about the female sexual pleasure system. So I typically work with females and their partners in helping them tackle both the emotional and the sexual intimacy sides of their relationship. So when we talk about sexual intimacy, we need to talk about sexual anatomy. So a lot of times we don't grow up learning about sex. If anything, we're taught to fear sex. We don't want to have sex before marriage. We're brought up in a purity culture or an abstinence culture. And while in the early stages of dating, you might want to not have sex right away. You might want to focus on building that emotional connection. We are talking about long-term couples who are married and who have not prioritized their sex life and are having dull, boring, and dissatisfying sexual experiences. So if you are stuck in a cycle of sexual avoidance, sexual frustration, and sexual rejection, this video can help you. So when we look at the female pleasure system, a female or vulva owner needs about 45 to 90 minutes of foreplay. The male body or a penis owner only needs about 4 to 8 minutes of foreplay. This immediately creates a desire discrepancy or a difference in levels of libido. If you're a male, you're going to be able to get sexually aroused much more quickly. And if you're a female, it's going to take your body a very normal amount of time, but it's going to take 45 to 90 minutes for you to feel sexually aroused. And you're going to feel desire build much more slowly than your partner. So knowing what turns you on is beautiful and helpful, but it's really important to give a female body time. So adequate time is very important to support orgasming. Many times I work with couples where sexual activities are far too short. Females don't feel satisfied. Females feel pain during penetrative sex when there's not enough foreplay. The vaginal area and vulva area just do not have enough time to become engorged with blood. There's just not enough time for the body physically to respond to sexual stimulus. So we do need 45 to 90 minutes. Typically, couples come to see me when sex is about 4 to 6 minutes in length. And a female partner is often frustrated because her male partner, is ejaculating too soon and he is now tired and her orgasms have not been prioritized. And she says, why even have sex anymore? And there becomes this cycle of disinterest. Sex is not associated with pleasure or fun. And so we start to rewire some of that. So I help couples both on a weekly basis and also during sex positive couple therapy intensive sessions. So a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-day couples therapy retreat can help you reboot your sex life. So when we look at enhancing sexual pleasure, we have to understand anatomy. The female body needs more time. So during foreplay, we're looking at not only the mind, but also the body. So there can be dirty talk, there can be sexual text messages, there can be role play, there can be cuddles, massages, caressing, there can be gentle grazing of the fingertips. A female's body needs to be nurtured and not just her genital areas. So a lot of times females will complain in sessions saying, my partner just kissed me for 2 minutes and then went to grab my clitoris or went to put his hard penis inside me. And that we're just missing a lot of steps. So we want to incorporate French kissing, making out, caressing of the belly, caressing the nipples, the breasts, the inner arms, the gentle grazing of the fingertips across the belly, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, full body gentle caressing and massaging, using the scalp. The hair has a ton of nerve endings and can be incredibly pleasurable when someone plays with a female's hair or touches the scalp. So I teach you different practical techniques and skills for deepening pleasure and elongating that pleasure so that sexual desire actually builds. And so it's really important as a couple to team up on these issues. So lack of sexual education is a common barrier when you're experiencing dull, dissatisfying, and boring and even painful sexual experiences. So I give you sex positive education. That can enhance pleasure, it can increase satisfaction, and it can also increase how much comfort, reassurance, playfulness also, comes from these experiences together. We also need to talk about foreplay in terms of a mental piece. So a female's mind is often doing 1,000 things per minute. A female is a mother, a sister, a daughter, an employee, a homeowner, the person doing chores, right? We have a lot of roles and hats that we wear. So in the foreplay process, a female gets liberated. She gets to have this freeing experience with her partner to take off these hats, to take off the layers of responsibility that are blockages or limiting factors in experiencing pleasure in the present moment. So part of the length of foreplay means instead of worrying about the laundry or worrying about the lunches for tomorrow or worrying about what we're going to eat for dinner, a female's mind gets to shift into experiencing pleasure in the present moment. So a female can feel the fingertips on her belly. A female can feel like she matters, like she's desired, like her body is meaningful and attractive to her partner. A female can feel fingertips on her hair and really get in her body and shift away from the responsibilities and professional pieces of her daily life and take off that hat and then put on the erotic self. Put on the hat that's the sexual self and get connected to her sexuality. So foreplay is both mental and physical. So it's really important to understand that and why 45 to 90 minutes is needed when you are supporting your female partner and experiencing more satisfying sexual experiences and sexual pleasure. Another piece when we look at female anatomy and the female body is we want to communicate. So a lot of times we grow up in strict conservative and religious environments where we never learn how to communicate about sex. We might not even learn how to communicate about emotions. We might have been physically abused or sexually abused as a child. We may have had parents that were gruff and harsh and were not emotional. So you may need to talk with your partner about expressing your emotions in a way that feels safe, emotionally bonding, and comforting. Talking about sex before, during, and after is a sign of a healthy sexual relationship. So how might we go about talking about sex? Well, first of all, we want to talk about before the moment begins. We want to say, hey, this is what I like. This is the pressure of touch I like. This is the area of my body I really like touched. This is a hot spot for me. I like it when you say these specific things. Last time this thing felt really good. I would love it if you did more of this, right? So we really want to be very descriptive. Sometimes when I work with distant couples, they're trying to communicate, but it's not clear at all. So someone might say, I really want you to touch me more. Great. However, we need to be much more clear. I really want you to caress my inner arms for 20 minutes and trace your fingertips from my wrist, up my shoulder, down the side of my rib cage, across my belly, avoiding my clitoris, down to my knee, and to really tease me. That is so much more descriptive and clear. Your partner has no idea what you like. Your partner might just be doing things that they did with past partners. Your partner may also not have any sexual education and not have very many experiences sexually and need you to be very, very clear. So communicate what you like, and you can use duration. You can use a scale. If your partner is being too rough, you could say, your pressure of touch right now is at a 9. I'd really like it at a 3. Or your speed of touch right now is too fast. But too fast is still not descriptive enough. We might say it's too fast, it's at a 9, I need it at a 4. So give your partner very clear communication when it comes to understanding your physical body and the type of touch that you like and need to feel aroused and safe. A big piece is communicating in the moment. So sometimes I talk with couples and they're physically in pain when they're having sexual experiences. Speak up, have a voice, say, right now, something in my hip is bothering me. My low back is really in pain during this position. Can we move positions? Or I need more lube. I need to pause for a minute. I need to use the restroom. I'm about to fart. I don't want you to keep eating me out or giving me oral sex for a few minutes. Come up and make out with me for a few minutes, right? We are humans. We have human experiences. And communicating in the moment is actually a sign of strength, health, and emotional flexibility. When we look at a healthy emotional connection, we are looking at emotional accessibility, emotional receptibility, so being receptive to each other, meaning being able to be there and understand what your partner needs and also give them what they need, being receptive, and then also being really emotionally empathetic. So these 3 elements play a huge role in sexual experiences. So talk, communicate, have a voice. If something's not feeling good, say, hey, I want to use a vibrator. I need to add a sex toy into this experience. Or, hey, I feel like I'm about to squirt. I need to put a waterproof blanket beneath us so that we don't ruin the couch or the bed. Or I really want to change up the environment, where we are playing. Speak up. You deserve to have a voice sexually, and communicating about your sexual needs, expectations, boundaries, wants, and desires is healthy. Your partner has no idea what you want or need. You might need to even have some emotional intimacy during a sexual experience. You might want your partner to say, hey, I really need you to tell me that I matter to you and that you think I'm hot, attractive, and sexy while we're physically intimate. I want you to compliment my body while we're having sex. Those emotional needs, the need for praise, reassurance, compliments, are totally valid. Tell your partner what you want and need and have a voice. You don't need to stay silent. You don't need to grin and bear it. You don't need to bite your tongue. You do not need to keep the peace in order to have a good sexual relationship. And I'm here to encourage you to have a sense of sexual confidence and express your sexuality. So these were some tips regarding female sexual satisfaction and sexual pleasure. If you're looking to improve both the emotional intimacy part of your relationship and the sexual intimacy part, I would love to support you. I specialize with couples who experience sexual rejection, sexual frustration, and sexual avoidance. I also help couples who get stuck in high conflict fights where there's tension, the silent treatment, anger, yelling, and it feels like you're walking on eggshells every day in your marriage. Both of these components are interconnected. I do a lot of work with complex childhood trauma and fears of abandonment that come up when we're working on building a secure, emotionally safe bond. I specialize with couples both on a weekly therapy basis, and also I offer 3-day marriage therapy bootcamp retreats. So you get 3 days, a couple bubble vacation to improve both your emotional intimacy and improve sexual desire and sexual intimacy. You can work with me by heading over to wisdomwithinct.com. That's wisdomwithinct.com. I would love to help you build more intimacy, a closer bond, an emotionally safe connection, and a more meaningful sex life in your marriage. I'm Katie Ziskind. I'm a Gottman Level 2 certified marriage therapist. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm a sex therapy certified informed professional, and I offer couples a safe space to talk about sex in an educational and positive manner. That's wisdomwithinct.com.